Hello, Papa J learns Excel here. So today I'm going to teach you about relative uh, cell reference versus absolute cell reference. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so if you can see the worksheet over here, I have the names from class 6A and also the names from class 6B, right? Okay, so now we want to total up the scores for English, Maths, and Science. Okay, for class 6A. So how you will do it is you will just sum them up, right? So you get 202. Okay, so as you can see, right? Okay, to show what cells you're summing up, right? To show the formula, you can just press F2 over here, and it will show you the cells that is using to sum this up. Okay, so now if you want to do the same for out and or you can also just type in the same formula, sum. Okay, so you can just do this, or you can just copy the cell over here, Control C, copy. Okay, and then go to this cell here and paste, and then go to this cell here and paste. Then you will get the score, the total score, right? So what the cell is doing when you copy and paste is doing a cell referencing from, for this cell, it's doing the same cell referencing for this, and for this cell, it's doing the same cell referencing for this. Okay, so this is the meaning of relative cell reference. Okay, now let's do the same for 6B. You can also type in the formula, right? And then you get answer. But typically, what I will do is I will just type in for this cell, and then I will copy for all the cells over here, and you get answer. Okay, so so this is about relative cell reference, meaning that if you copy the cell from here to here, okay, because for this cell you will take the reference for this tree, right? It's the same as this cell. You'll take reference from this tree. So this is the meaning of relative cell reference. Okay. So now let's go to absolute cell reference. So if you go to if you can see, right, over here, the formula, okay, the formula does not have the dollar sign. Okay. So for relative, it does not have the dollar sign. But for absolute, you will see the dollar sign. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so in this example, you have the amount for rent, transport, food, and others. Okay, so let's total them up. Okay, so the total is 2004, right? Okay, so now you want to find out the percentage. Okay, for rent, your expense of your expenses, what's the percentage? So what you can do is you can just equal this cell divide by this cell, which is 0.4167. Okay, so if you convert to percentage, is 42%, right? 42%. Okay, I use the shortcut key Control Shift 5, okay, to change the cell to percentage. But you can just go to over here. You just click over here and then percentage. Okay, I like to use shortcuts. Okay, so rent is 42%. Okay, what about transport? So if you refer to the previous worksheet, right, you just previous worksheet we copied the first cell and then copied the other cell. Okay, so for this, let's try. Okay, let's try copying this cell to this cell. Oh, so you'll find that this is an error, because you can't divide by 0. So this is what the error means. You can't divide by 0. So what happened over here is, okay, again you press F2. So you press F2, and then you find that the formula over here is 300, which is correct, divided by B8, which is wrong. You want it to divide by B7, right? You want this formula. Okay? So now the key thing is, let's do the same for food, then you know what I mean. The key thing is, if you notice all these 3 cells is B3, B4, and B5 for the first one, but the denominator, okay, is B7, is fixed. So this is what I mean by absolute cell reference. Okay, so we need to fix B7. Okay, so what we can do is we can type in the $sign before B and before 7. That means that we are fixing the column and the row. B is the column, 7 is the row. So when you type $B, $7, it means that we are fixing the column and the row. Okay, both the column and the row. Okay, if you do this, okay, and then you copy, you get the correct answer. Right, you get the correct answer. Okay? Okay. Let's do this for the rest. Yeah. So this is what I mean by absolute cell reference. Okay? Now, this is a total absolute cell reference because we are fixing the column and the row. Okay? But what if sometimes you need to just fix the row and the column will be relative, or the other way around, row is relative and column is absolute. Okay, so now let me show you an example whereby you might need to do this. So in my work, I will always need to do this. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so this is an example. So for this, you have a fixed salary. Under company ABC, you have a fixed salary, you have commission, and you have allowance. Okay, so this is for scheme 1, this is for scheme 2. So for both scheme 1 and scheme 2, right, the salary is fixed. Okay, but the commission and allowance can be different. Okay, but over here, for both scheme 1 and scheme 2, the allowance are the same. Okay, so this is what I mean. So for example, right, if you sum this, now if you sum this, you get 3,000, right? Okay, if you copy this cell over to this cell, you will find that it's 5,005. Okay, 5,005. So it is taking these 3 cells to sum, but actually it's not correct. Okay, you should be taking 1,000, 2,000, and 500. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so the correct answer should be B3 and F3 and G3. Right, should be 3,005. Should be this. Okay. So this is another. So you can use the sum this way as well. Okay. If you don't want to use the sum this way, you can do this. So there are different methods. Okay, right? I like to use shortcuts. Alright, so this is the correct formula, right? But it'll be tedious if, let's say, your spreadsheet is very you need to use this very often, right? And the spreadsheet is very big. Okay, it's not very efficient to do it this way. So the more efficient method is, okay, so watch what I do. The more efficient method is, I'll make things a bit simpler, so I will not use just sum for everything. So we can do this, right? And then we can sum these 2 first. Okay, we shall delete this first. Okay, so what you can do is you can go to B3 and type in a $sign here, right? So you're fixing the column B. You're fixing column B. You're not fixing the row, you're fixing column B. Okay? Now you have 3000, right? So when you copy this over to here, it's 3005. And if you look at the formula, okay, and if you look at the formula, it's correct. It's this plus these two, right? Because you fix the column. Okay, you fix the column. So now you can copy to all the cells. Right. Sorry. You can copy to all the cells. Okay, now you go to. Okay, so now this is about fixing the column and fixing the row. Sorry, this is about fixing the column. Okay, fixing the column and the row being relative. Okay, so this the naming of this worksheet is not correct. So we are fixing the column over here. Okay, yes, I'll change it. Give me a while. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, so the last example is you are fixing the row, okay, which is the absolute, but the column is relative. Okay, so actually this is the same as this, right? These two are the same, just that it's transposed. Okay, so now you know that for this and this is just transposed. Okay, so it's the same. So if I give you the example that, okay, we use this plus this, okay, so the total will be the blue one plus the red one. Okay, now if you copy this cell over to this cell, you find that it's 5005, right? Which is wrong. Okay, so what you can do is you go back to this cell, press F2. If you don't want to press F2, okay, just click on the formula bar. Okay, and now you put a $sign in front of 3. Okay, you get the correct answer. Now you get 3000, right? 3005. Okay, so we can copy this to all the cells. Before I end, I shall teach you a shortcut. So let's go back to the normal one. Okay, so it's C3 now. So if you don't want to type in the $sign, what you can do is you can just press F4. It will scroll through all the absolute. Okay, first is this, you press F4 again, it's this. Okay, so press enter. Yeah. But if typing the $sign is easier for you, then you just do. Okay, so you should copy to all the cells over here. Yeah, and that's it for relative and absolute cell reference. So for those of you who are using Excel on a regular basis, you will definitely encounter this all the while. Okay, because you need to know which column or which row to put a $sign, to fix or to make it an absolute cell. Okay, so yeah, once again, thanks so much for watching. Papa J Learns Excel here. See you in the next video. Bye.